We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you.
Hello and welcome to I Be Determined. I'm your host, Mason Harvey. I speak from the role of a patient and I have Crohn's disease.
And I'm your other host, Michelle Harvey. I am Mason's mom and I speak from the role of a caregiver on this podcast. And I think this will be a fun podcast.
Just a fun one.
We were going to film it, but then I also realized some of you just listen, you don't watch. And to film all the different things that we'll be showing you what happened would have taken a lot of work. And so I think it was best to do it this way, to test everything and then just tell you about it. Plus, with some of the reactions, I really didn't want to be on camera, and I'm really glad.
God, I thought it was fun.
So we're going to tell you in a second what today's podcast is. I mean, if you've seen the title, you know where we're heading with this. But
you saw the title, but if you just click on our videos and just waiting to see what the surprise is.
Yeah. And so we had a busy week just with normal stuff, and then Mason had
busy week with
college with his high school courses also, and then you did golf and he had to record a video and do that this week for the American Society of Colon and Rectal Surgeons, and so he did that. And then on Friday he had an early doctor's appointment, and so Jason was off. And so we were able to recruit Jason to also work with us. Yeah. So luckily we had Jason to participate because we didn't want to just be the two of us. So what we did is we bought 21 supplemental drinks.
21.
Yeah. And actually 22, but one of them was expired, and that's been fixed.
That one was the best one.
Yeah. So that one did not participate. So we ended up trying 21. And Mason was definitely he did not. Just to be clear, nobody was drinking all of these. Okay.
No, we're just taking sips.
Yeah. So Mason was invited to opt out if he needed to, or just do a sip so he could taste them. So what we did, it's first of all, we're not going to here today to give any dietary advice. I just want to be very clear. We are not suggesting you should drink any of these. What we wanted to do was, there's hospitals sometimes will offer you a brand or a certain type of drink if you're hospitalized, and we wanted to take what they might recommend and just taste them, because
see which is what tastes the best.
Yeah.
Not nutritional facts or supplements or what it is.
Because remember when you were in the hospital and they gave you some options, and the nurse told Mason that one of the drinks was by far the best, and this is really good, you're gonna like this. And I think a lot of times adults and kids, do we trust the nurses? Did they actually try these, or did they actually
like them?
Are they just trying to pep you up?
I mean, maybe they
give you confidence. Jason had tried it along with Mason because Mason was like, no, gross. And Jason attested and said the same thing. And this was almost 5 years ago now.
The funny thing is, my dad likes a lot of things, and I've never seen him react so badly, because he was like, ooh, just stumped it out. I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
And so we did try that drink again this time around, and you'll see what our reactions are as we go through these, as we talk about them. So again, we're not...
You're going to have to try to recreate your expression.
No, I'm not going to do that.
You do.
Luckily for those listening, you would not have any. Yeah. It was very interesting. And so our hospital had a contract with Boost at the time when you were hospitalized. And I think prior to that had been Ensure. So, originally when they offered Boost, we were like, oh, this must be the best because the hospital is recommending this. One of the nurses told us oh, well, we have a contract. And so, you're like, oh, Okay.
Definitely better than Ensure. That's my opinion.
Well, Mason has a thing. He does not like Ensure. So, sorry. And if you're listening, you're with Ensure.
It's okay. Everyone has their different opinions.
Yes, and so that is also very important to stress because all of our tastes are going to be very different. And so just because, I don't want to say like with this episode, if we didn't like something that you will dislike it and we may say something's gross and you're drinking it right now and you're like, what? This is
And
good.
there's more proof to that because one of my favorite flavors was actually one of my least favorite flavors for my dad. He did not like it at all, but I loved it. And
so that was a good thing about having 3 of us. So we
it's
could
not just
have
2 and like, okay,
right.
well,
Right. And we also did this like blind taste testing. So we
yeah, so we didn't know
know.
the names, so we couldn't say, oh, that one's
with
definitely
Mason,
better.
if he saw he was drinking out of an Ensure bottle, he would have already been like, I don't like it. He wouldn't, so we tried and as it turned out, Mason did discover each time pretty much it was
I got 4 out of 5 times.
figured it out.
I was like, that's Ensure, that's Ensure, that's Ensure.
So this isn't to like hate on Ensure.
No, just not my thing. Obviously, there's gonna be people out there who like it. It's just not. Just try it, see if you like it, and don't buy us unless you tried it.
So one of the things also besides that is like when Mason had his IBD dietitian and she was helping him out at the time, she did not recommend like Kate Farms, which is one of the ones we'll be trying today. And at the time, though, that was for Mason and his own symptoms. He would, I'm sure, be okay to have Kate Farms now, but it's important to realize that some of these ones that we tried might be better, might be worse, depending on your own diagnosis and symptoms. So before you just run out and pick one of these up and start drinking it, talk to your doctor, talk to your dietitian, see what they think because
the drinks are all different.
Yeah.
So because some of them have a lot more sugar than another one, and so
so sweet.
if your glucose levels, have problems, you might want to talk to your doctor and say, well, this one has about whatever grams.
And by doing this, like by blind taste testing, it also helped that we didn't see the nutritional facts. Like we didn't see how much sugar, we were just testing it again, just to see how the taste was. And it was interesting to see if the taste lined up with the nutritional stuff too. And so, so some of these were like magic tricks. They made something that surprisingly tasted okay, and other ones were just I think that's the main thing we had to look at when we're going into this. We knew, even though they say like nutrition shake,
it's not a shake.
It's not a shake. Okay, we know that the intent with these, for some of these, is a meal replacement. So they're going to have tons of vitamins and minerals, which
they're basically going to taste like a meal that's been blended out. Basically,
that's a tough task.
Yeah, they're trying to make it taste like chocolate. But there's iron in it, there's vegetables in it, and then try to make it taste like chocolate.
Yeah, and so it's like trying to disguise that taste. It makes sense why they would probably put that sweetness in there to try to cover it up. And
it's kind of like those iron chewables, or
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they taste gross, but compared to just drinking straight iron substance, it's like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. I'm not happy eating this.
Yeah.
But it tastes a lot better than what it could be.
We don't drink any diet soda or diet drinks. So just want to throw that out there because some of you do. And so for when, we're testing these and we're like, hey, these taste like fake sugar, some of you guys are not going to notice that. So just important to keep in the back of your mind that we are not used to it's like substitute sugars or anything like that. We're not used to that. So we will definitely have a bias with that flavor. So that's just, disclaimer on that. Also, these were not refrigerated.
No. So they might
that would have helped.
They might be better refrigerated. I don't know. Some of them just couldn't be saved.
So, because Mason said, okay, so I asked Mason because I said, because I remember like when one of the ones he tried, I tried it and I was like, oh, this would be much better in the fridge. And he was like, no, I don't like it in the fridge. I like it served room temperature. And so I'm like, all right.
That was after I was out of the hospital. I was on gut rest for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. So I'm gonna just say these were getting tried without refrigeration. I mean, you don't have to refrigerate until they're opened. These were unopened.
Because I do have an instant breakfast. Obviously, it's not the same thing as these.
Yeah.
But it's chocolate flavor, and I do prefer it cold.
Yeah.
And that's so.
And so again, if we're gonna have one clear winner out of all of these for a supplemental drink, it is what Mason is currently drinking right now, which is his Fairlife milk mixed with instant breakfast powder.
It doesn't taste
So
like a nutrition shake.
So that's the other thing. If you're having one of these a day, like we said, this is gonna vary for you based on your goals. If you're having one a day, no big deal. 2 a day, maybe not a big deal there.
3 a day.
It depends also what else you're drinking. If you're gonna drink a soda or a fruit juice that's heavy in sugar, along with these supplemental drinks, there could be some issues. So it's just important to take note of what are in these supplemental drinks. And if you're only drinking the drinks, that's also going to be different.
Like I was drinking, like, I don't know, 9 boosts a
yeah,
day.
they had you drinking 9 boosts a day.
Fun.
And oh gosh, I don't know. After just taste testing, I don't know how we
I
did
still
it.
have PTSD from that. I'm like, oh
Oh,
no, it tastes like that.
no.
No.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't like some of that.
so overall, we would recommend, and what he's drinking right now is recommended by his IBD dietitian. However, instant breakfast powder does contain milk products. So some of you can't have that, even though he mixes it with lactose-free milk.
It's just to be safe.
Yeah, it cuts down on that, but some of you may not be able to have instant breakfast powder. So there are instant breakfast drinks. We did not try those. We spent a small fortune on the 21 drinks.
Small fortune.
Yeah, because we didn't buy them in packs. So you had to buy them individually because there's no way I was going to buy 6 of each of these, or whatever it is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'd have to drink the entire bottle as a taste test for each of us.
So it's expensive. These are not cheap drinks. That's the other thing to consider. They are not inexpensive. So we ordered one of each. We found a company, I think it's vitality.com. I can link them, and you can order any of these individuals. So if you want to try one before buying a large pack of them and forcing your child to finish them when you yourself haven't tried it, I recommend.
Yes, please try the drink first. Don't tell your kid, oh, it's not that bad.
I haven't tried it, and you tell your child just to make them feel better, oh, it's going to taste great because it says it's a chocolate milkshake. Don't do that because they won't trust you.
It's not a chocolate.
Be honest. So, you're gonna, obviously these things are not gonna taste like a shake, and that doesn't mean they're bad. They're just different. So, because that was the other thing was, I would say, scent was also a challenge.
Yeah. Basically just go.
No, they had to keep reminding me because for some reason,
stop sniffing it before you drink it.
Look at it, the cup, and I would
smell
it, like, oh no, and then already it was like,
and then it's like it's already bad. So basically, what you just do is just if you want to smell it, just smell it after you drink it. I guess
like a good idea.
Don't smell it at all.
You use a straw.
Yeah, maybe.
Keeping the original
because the old Boost was in boxes, not so. Something interesting is they weren't in like bottles, but they were in little like boxes like you get in an apple juice box.
Yes.
But it had a straw, and so you wouldn't really smell it.
I think that's what one of the tricks we did, because so we're drinking these. I'm like, we're it's a cup, so you have a wide surface area right there to smell it. It's like, oh
like,
no. So maybe recommend a straw, keep it in the original container because it's not as open as the other one.
You don't smell it.
That's about it. Some of you may have better advice. Please throw it in the comments if you have advice on how you drink these. And I know some of you, again, put it in the fridge is probably me number one. That's not something we did. So
yeah, we didn't.
So we're gonna talk
just out of the box.
So what we did is we broke the drinks into categories. So our first category was chocolate.
Who doesn't like chocolate?
And I'm going to throw some pictures up here too as we are talking so you can see the chocolate drinks that we tried.
There's going to be a lot of editing for you.
Yeah, and hopefully not. It would be more if we were actually drinking them on like with everybody. I'd have to probably edit out a lot of stuff.
Are you
oh,
just the faces.
Yeah.
No,
people listening don't want to hear drinking and gagging and like it would sound terrible. So I'm not gonna do that.
It couldn't be a podcast one. It should have to be video only.
Like
imagine driving in your car just listening to
and people like wait it make yuck like not good.
Oh yeah, such a quality
so
podcast.
we'll spare everybody that. It'd be funny to watch us, but
it'd be funny to watch but not listen.
No. So first up we tried, these are all chocolate, Fairlife, Core Power, Kate Farms, Boost, Ensure Original, and Glucerna got thrown in there because my mom heard we were doing this and she bought Glucerna at Costco.
Thanks,
And
Grandma.
so, yeah, so I was like, you know what? Might as well throw that in there because people shopping at Costco might have seen this. And I really had no expectations. I poured all of them into a cup, and in the bottom of the cup, we had underneath it, we had put like a letter so we knew which one it was. But then we poured them, then we mixed them all up, brought them out to the table, and you know, just took a sip. And Mason was very small sips on this. I don't blame him. He didn't have to even, do this.
Well, I did make some good sips on
But
some.
out of the ones we tried, and I'm going to try to be very nice about this because I feel for you guys. Like, I feel for the supplemental drink companies because it's really hard to make something taste
It
good
is really hard. We're over here drinking, going, we're over here drinking and making this face like, ugh. But the thing is, it's really hard to do. You can't. There's just these flavors that are very hard to get rid of. Iron is very hard to tone down. Try to find something that overpowers it. Then there's a ton of other things in these drinks.
Yeah.
And so, can't really blame them because we're making this face, but could we make something better? No.
Probably not. That's why we're drinking those.
Yeah.
Or that's why we moved to, what we currently have, that is his preference, but that's what he's able to drink. So you might not be able to. And again, at different times of your disease, wherever you're at, some of these drinks may be better, maybe worse. And we'll go over the nutritional facts at the end. So we are going to cover those for you guys. We're going to do that at the end. So for those of you who don't care, you just want to hear how they taste, you can listen to the first half. And for those who want to learn more about the drinks, you can listen to that. So our findings were we preferred Glucerna and Fairlife over the other options.
I think Fairlife was probably one of my favorite overall for everything, but Glucerna was pretty good. It was probably a little better for the chocolate.
Yeah. And so and they all did have to us a little bit of that fake sugar. They're sweet. There's just a sweetness about these that is like, ugh. I mean, I can see why they have to have it, but when you're drinking, it was just because we drink too many. Yeah. Honestly, it was just a lot of sugary stuff to taste. Yeah. So that was what we found. I thought the Ensure was okay. So did my husband, Jason. Mason is absolutely over it and said no, he didn't like it because he knew right away. He took a sip and he's like, "This is Ensure."
This is Ensure, yeah. And, I can taste it for some reason. You taste it so much, and you're like, "Oh, well, I don't like that anymore."
Yeah, and some of them, Jason kept picking up on it as a chalky taste. They're a little bit of a chalky taste, which I did find is kind of, I think, wasn't all of them except maybe the Fairlife.
Yeah, actually, Fairlife didn't really have that.
That was interesting.
Boost definitely has a chalky taste. Not that bad, but I love this. I love Boost so much after the hospital. I was on gut rest for 4 weeks, though.
I think they all had a chalky taste.
Yeah, they all did. And so it just messed with my taste buds. I was like, oh my God, Boost is so good. No, it's not.
Well, I mean, let's not be mean to Boost either.
Yeah, remember when I literally made a drawing of it because I thought it was the best thing.
He did.
I mean, it's good, but
So Kate Farms, which we're going to go into more afterwards, but Kate Farms is available to more people who cannot have dairy, cannot have soy. It's a little more allergen friendly because it's a plant-based drink.
I mean, that's cool. So if you have, if you're allergic to milk.
But it had like the thing I'll say, it had almost a chemical taste. I mean, and again, I'm not saying they put a chemical in it. It's the only thing, it was like, not maybe artificial or something with the chocolate. There was something that the taste overwhelmed the chocolate a little bit. But if you had to drink it, it's not like, it still was not the worst of what we tried. But
no, it definitely wasn't the worst.
Yeah. So although it didn't win our taste test here, it is still a decent option.
So we were just going purely off of taste.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kate Farms didn't have the greatest taste. But you got to keep in mind at the same time, they're trying to keep it allergen free, friendly. And so
meet all the requirements so you're getting what you need. So
there's not going to be gluten in it. There's not going to be
actually
milk.
All of these are gluten free. All of these are lactose friendly. I would say, but Kate Farms is by far the one that is available for those of you who really can't have a lot of things. And so I think that's a great option. And so again, we're just looking at taste, and it wasn't terrible. It just didn't win. It just wasn't the top in our taste test. Next up, we tried all the vanillas. So
I don't like vanilla.
And Mason Ray doesn't like vanilla.
No, that's just my personal.
No, but we tried the Fairlife Core Power, Kate Farms again, Boost, and Ensure Original. So again, They all, yeah, they all had a
Original.
slightly fake that sweet taste. And I don't know if it's more noticing with vanilla because I think chocolate almost
But it's like a stronger color,
more bitter, like
stronger
a
flavor.
little more of a bitterness to chocolate, maybe that tones it down. That doesn't make it quite as sweet.
Yeah, vanilla is so lightly
I don't know.
flavored. It kind of.
What we're really trying to focus on here was if the vanilla flavor came through. That was kind of like, did it taste like vanilla? Or did it taste just like a sweet, like whatever drink? The thing that was interesting here, the Fairlife didn't have that
It actually
supplemental
didn't
drink
have a
scent.
smell.
No, it didn't. And it was also looked like the most like milk. It was just kind of like
Coconut milk, kind
that's
of.
what you thought. Yeah.
And it's funny, it was actually my dad's least favorite. He said he did not like it at all, but I love it, you know?
Mason really liked
It
it.
had a hint of like coconut milk, kind of. And I don't know why,
I
but
think it was
I
a
always
little
loved it.
thinner than the other ones, and so it gave it that coconut milk
And it
kind of
didn't have a weird
texture.
smell.
It did not.
So, you know,
So
you can
it
you can
helped.
breathe while drinking this
Yeah,
time. You
that
don't
was
have to
what's
go
interesting. Yeah, for sure.
just enjoy it.
So results were we all preferred Boost this time, but then we were also all over the place. So I think we all agreed on the Boost. Mason loved the Fairlife even more than the Boost. That was his favorite because of that coconut milk.
I mean, we say
texture.
loved. I mean, loved it more than the others.
Yeah, he didn't like love this like he
Yeah.
wants to drink this. It
Yeah,
was
I mean, I wouldn't rather drink this than
should
instant
say-
breakfast, but
Mason preferred.
I prefer it. Yes.
Not love. That's a
It's
really
good.
strong
It's like a
word.
job the Fairlife.
Yeah. Jason, he found it too watery, like we said. Jason and I didn't mind the Ensure. We actually liked it. Well, I mean, as much as you could. Again, like I mean, I don't want. I feel like someone's gonna drink these and go, how do they like these? I mean, for what it is, again, for what it
I mean,
is.
we're saying we're loving them, but we're not comparing this to a nice chocolate shake you get from a diner. We're comparing this to another drink that you get
to another supplemental
to another
drink. These are
supplemental drink.
compared to supplement. Yeah, so when we're saying we prefer, we like. It's
We're
just
comparing it to
compared
another
those.
supplemental drink.
Would I drink something else over these every
No.
day, anytime? Yes. But this is again just against these. And so again, Mason really disliked the Ensure because of his past supplemental drinking trauma. So
I have supplemental drink PTSD.
no, so he was like already like he knew what it was as soon as even though it was he couldn't tell there was nothing on it, but when he drank it, he knew right away. So
That's something about the flavor.
yeah, so
maybe you'll like it.
I just don't know how people can drink several of these in a day. That was a note I put because I'm thinking, you know, there's got to be ways. Obviously, we get creative and you can mix them into things. You can use them in other things, and so that might be a really good option. So especially if your kid only likes one flavor, it might be good to try to mix it up with something. So next up, strawberry. We tried Fairlife again, Core Power, but they only had strawberry banana. So this was a little unfair because it had a different, you know, banana is very overwhelming in a lot of drink scents. So we tried Glucerna, Ensure, and Boost, and not Cape Farms, but we do have inside knowledge. We do know they are going to be coming out with a strawberry flavor soon. So yeah, so this time, you know, we didn't get to try theirs, but be interesting to see what it does taste like. So also interesting to note, Fairlife and Boost were not really pink.
They weren't strawberry. They're actually more vanilla colored, if anything.
And so you wouldn't know if you're looking at them that, you know, so again, we're like, is that maybe less dye going in? Which brought up the issue of the red dye and things like that. That is pretty popular right now. And so we'll go more into that later. But again, we were kind of like, we were all over the place. So it was like, okay, which ones taste the most like strawberry? And so trying
the banana one, most definitely.
Yeah. Strawberry banana is not like that's not even fair because but so it's like, did it taste like strawberry banana though? That's what we had to like figure out.
I didn't really taste the strawberry. Banana is very overpowering, but I do like the banana, so
yeah. Well,
I kind of cheated this time.
Yeah.
It was just too straight.
Yeah, they didn't have it. I had to order. I ordered from Target last minute because Jason was home and I was like, oh, I got to get the Fairlife because I didn't order those ahead of time. And so this is what they had. So that's what we ended up with. And so yeah, so maybe you'll like the Fairlife strawberry. I don't know better. So the preferred supplemental drinks this time were Glucerna and Ensure. But I don't think I think you surprisingly didn't guess.
I think I didn't. I think I actually didn't guess Ensure on that one.
Yeah. So, but again, overall, they were slightly still a fake sugar taste. Mason and I didn't like the Boost.
No.
Didn't taste like strawberry to me. But Jason thought that it tasted like leftover milk, like after you had a fruity cereal. So for him, he was like, I don't mind this.
He likes cereal.
Yeah. So that if that's your thing, then maybe the Boost that flavor. But I didn't really get the strawberry coming through like I did in the Glucerna and Ensure. Those had like the most strawberry, still artificial tasting, but the most strawberry.
So congratulations to Glucerna and Ensure.
Yeah, I know your nemesis. They're also
good at times.
Still a bit chalky. That was still the note here in all of these. And so I think that's just a texture you have to live with. If you can mix it with ice cream or mix it with, fruit or something, make a smoothie with it, maybe that'll help. And so that's
obviously Fairlife isn't in the
Well, you like that one the best.
I like Fairlife, but let's be honest, it didn't taste like strawberry much. I got more banana.
But you didn't mind the banana.
But I actually liked banana. But this is a strawberry tasting
yeah. But you
section,
still ranked,
not banana.
You still ranked Fairlife number 1. So
but it doesn't really count.
I think it's because you're like a fan because you were mad about the Ensure and actually
I did that beef and I was biased.
It's like, how did Ensure end up in the preferred one?
We couldn't see, so I mean that means it did taste better.
Yeah. So
somehow,
I agreed with the Glucerna and Ensure, but Jason would have thrown the Boost in there as well, but I would not. I wouldn't.
But you might. You might like it.
But you might. Like I said, that's why I tried to describe it the way Jason did, because you may like that. Like I like cereal and milk, but some people like to drink the milk afterwards when it has that. So if that's your thing, it's not like I don't dislike that, but that is not what occurred to me when I was drinking the Boost. It just was like, not my thing. Next came the ones we were dreading the most. These are the ones.
Should we sugarcoat the explanation of these ones at all?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into how I actually reacted.
You should.
It was not good.
No, it's not. No. Oh wait, no, these ones are fine.
I have several thoughts on this. So we tried these specifically because these were the ones that the nurse at the hospital was like, these are really good, and I never got to try because I wasn't on the hospital room at the time. Jason was with them. So
also that,
I mean, I'm looking at him and it's like a beautiful picture of like fruit punch and like orange juice.
I love drinking the most normal orange juice you'll ever drink.
Well, and I was thinking maybe the fruit, like maybe these clear mixed fruit drinks that are better than like these other ones. Maybe there's something to it. But Mason and Jason assured me that no, there's not. And so I was very nervous, to be honest, to try these.
So funny.
Because of what I'd already heard. So we kind of had a bias.
If I didn't have to take a sip, I would have been laughing so hard.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's what we tried. And we tried a lot of these. We did the Ensure Clear Mixed Fruit, Boost Breeze Orange, Ensure Clear Mixed Berry, Boost Breeze Wild Berry, and the Ensure Clear Blueberry Pomegranate.
I love how they say it like they make it sound so pretty.
So
Ensure Clear Mixed Berry.
If I read you the other ones too, like even the names like this, like they really try to sell you on the names because when you're reading it, you read shake and you read these other things, you're like, this has to be good because they want you when you're in the store and you're trying to pick one out, they want you to grab theirs. So I would say none of these were exactly winners.
Good.
But if we had
the reactions were winners though.
If we had to pick two that we preferred, it was the Ensure Clear Mixed Fruit and Blueberry Pomegranate. So they were both a little tart. That was the thing. So that might have helped.
That might have helped because get rid of the
and some of that really sugary stuff, whatever they put in there. So because there were some interesting things that happened with these.
Very interesting.
So the Boosts and the Ensure Mixed Berry were not good. Like I'm so sorry, Boost and Ensure, but I don't know who gave these the green light. Like at the
We're not sugarcoating it.
I mean, the other ones, like I can understand. Like they're supplemental drinks.
Yeah, they good.
But this
why would you turn it into fruit juice?
I mean, this is like messed up. Like I feel like if you're like
imagine being a kid and you're like, I love
orange
berry
juice,
punch.
and
I love orange juice. I love berry punch. They drink this and like, oh no, it's ruined.
Guess what? It's gonna ruin it for life for them. Like I kid you, if you had a drink, okay, and I feel really bad right now too, because some of you may be drinking these and liking these, and I am so sorry.
No,
totally no hate.
No,
this is just
it's just our opinion.
It's our opinion. I feel like if I had Mason drink one of these orange ones, I probably could never have gotten to drink orange juice again because I feel like this would have just ruined it for him. And
I probably wouldn't have even been able to drink it.
Yeah. So, but I do know these do sell. So some of you out there
so there are some people who do enjoy it.
Yeah. So I feel bad being like this mean about it, but I just honestly I struggled and I don't really know how to be nice. I'm trying to be nice about it. They start off okay. That was the really interesting thing. You take a sip and at first the fruit flavor it comes through. But then remember because I first when I did this and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then Mason's turn to drink it. And I'm like, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, and he's like, what? And I'm like, just, and so he drank it and he's like, I don't notice it. And then, about 5 seconds later, it's like metallic. Like it just tastes like, I actually thought,
she goes, guys, is my lip bleeding?
I thought I did. Because it was weird because when I drank it, it tasted like okay. I was like, this isn't that bad. And then it was like, I thought, I'm like, is my lip bleeding? Because this is like, it tastes metallic. There's some weird, I don't know. And they're like, no. And then Mason's like, oh, I taste it. And then same thing for Jason. So it hit all of us. It had a very metallic taste. And I think that is what made it so difficult because if it had stayed the flavor when you first took the first sip, might not have been good. Yeah, it wouldn't have been. But the Ensure Mixed Berry wins the award for
her description of this was
I got accused of a lot of things.
So weird.
When I took a drink of it, I was being accused of being dramatic, and my husband's always like, "Oh, she's just doing this," and I'm like, "No."
And he drank it.
I gagged, and it was not for me. And I'm so sorry to the Ensure Mixed Berry fans out there. Kudos to you. I don't know.
Oh no. Yeah, kudos to
I
you.
didn't taste mixed berry.
Millions of dollars.
I did not.
Yeah, instead you said it tasted like Yellowstone and fire.
I thank you, Mason.
You're gonna hear us and you're not gonna understand why it tastes like Yellowstone.
I don't know what because it was like eating a match. I've never done that, and I have no idea. But there was some, and I was like trying to identify it. And I'm like, it tastes like the smell when you go to Yellowstone. If any of you have been there,
tastes like
which is like the sulfury, and so once that was in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Yellowstone in a bottle, which I love Yellowstone.
Yeah, but I don't like the smell.
And
especially the taste.
And so I'm saying all this, and I was the first to drink it, which was like not good.
And the funny thing was, I didn't taste it because I didn't take a big enough sip because I saw that I was like, well, nah, I'm good.
And so then Jason tried it, and then he was like, oh,
took it, and he was like, oh,
yeah. He's like, I see what you're saying. He's all, it's got like egg or something. Like there's some, I'm all, yeah, there is something going on with this. Like, it was like this.
Who's gonna buy that?
These smells that you smell when you taste it. It's like things you've smelled.
There are people who probably enjoy this. There are people who enjoy this, and we have to keep that in mind. And
it's my taste buds. I don't know. Jason's too.
Thank you for taking these off the shelves for us.
Yeah. So that one, I didn't like that one. And that was the Ensure Mixed Berry, just to be fair.
Oh well, sure, it happened again.
And so yeah, we try more Ensure. So we wrap this up at this point. I was like, we were like done.
Our mouths were fried.
And everyone's like, do we have more?
The funniest thing is I had these chips. They're salt and vinegar chips. And the thing is, my dad doesn't like them because they're so strong. And the smell of them is salt and vinegar smells so strong, and he doesn't like them. And so after every time he drink one, I give him the bag and I say, here, take a smell. And so he's like, for once, it actually does smell good because it's getting rid of the flavor.
I told them, you know what? And this is the other thing, you guys. I told them not to eat in between because
it was just smelling.
Unless it was something that was a neutral. And Mason finds any excuse to go get these chips. It's like, oh, time for chips. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, yeah. And so he's like, I'm like, you're gonna ruin the taste if you're strong.
What is the smell?
I know, but then it's not a good taste test.
Well, because we take it after every
sudden. No, he's like, I'll just smell them, and then all of a sudden they're all eating them and trying to get the taste out of their mouth.
The sad part is, after we took a drink of those fruit ones, I ate about 3 of those chips. They're insanely strong, and I could still taste the berry, and I could not taste the vinegar still.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so we had 3 left, and we're like, we got to finish.
These ones actually don't look that bad.
And these ones were Ensure Butter Pecan, Ensure banana nut, and Ensure coffee latte. One of the ones we were supposed to try was the Cape Farms coffee, and that was the one that was expired, unfortunately. So that would have been an interesting one to taste. So I'm
it was the
disappointed.
only one that wasn't Ensure in this.
Yeah, because these ones were the ones that had the fun flavors, I guess. And so overall, Mason said all of these were a no.
But then again, I had so much of the not
yeah.
so much of the fruit. I just had a little sip.
Yeah.
And my taste buds were fried.
He didn't want to taste anything
My
else.
taste buds were deep fried.
Jason preferred the butter pecan and banana nut. Both you and your dad hated the coffee. Again, we're not coffee drinkers over here, so I think that's now for me, I actually didn't mind the coffee because I think I like that the bitterness of the coffee really overpowered that sweet, awful fake taste.
Don't Crohn's patients have to be careful with caffeine?
So you have to check to see if, I don't know if these are decaf or caffeinated. I'm not sure if it's just a flavor. If it's actual coffee. I don't really know how they do it, but yeah. So that was also a note on here to double check with that before you drink something that could have caffeine in it. I thought with these, like my idea was you could actually take some of these and mix them with ice cream, like with just vanilla or whatever kind of ice cream you can eat.
Don't ruin the ice cream.
Yeah, it might ruin it, but you could actually make a different taste, like by adding the butter pecan or the banana nut. And so some people, because again, it depends on your goal, but you might be trying to gain weight, and so you might be adding it to other things. But if you're just drinking these as a meal replacement, obviously you cannot be adding it to ice cream. Like that's a different goal. So
having 3 a
but
day.
if you're having like one, if it's needed like one a day, and you need to mix it with and there's different ice creams too. I mean, there's lots of dairy-free options as well.
I can have three in a day.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can mix it with the salt and vinegar chips, and then you just found a way to bring the chips in.
A lot of people do not like salt and vinegar chips. But this one over here, he's a fan, and so that's why
good taste buds.
Yeah.
But we can all agree on the fruit ones.
So overall, not as fun of a task as I'd hoped it would be. It was something we've talked about doing for a while, and I don't think any of us really like wanted to do this. Overwhelming sweetness was how it felt afterwards. It's like, we didn't drink enough of these to feel
I'm not
full.
sure if it was sweetness.
It was just, I don't know what it was.
It's just like your mouth feels bad.
Because you were like, I'm not full because I didn't drink enough, but I just feel like yuck. Like
it's just the yuck. It gives me the yuck.
So now we're gonna hit up the facts on these.
All right. Well, this is the boring part, guys.
So
you can leave now.
Yeah. So if you're done, you know now what you don't want to know what's in these because you're like, oh, good, they said this tastes good. We'll just go with it. We'll talk to our doctor about it. Definitely talk to your doctor about it because lots of these ingredients are going to be something you may have to watch depending on where you are at in your treatments or where you're at with your disease. I know people are taking these as either, with IBD might be taking them as meal supplements. You might be drinking them to gain weight. You might want to drink them. You're just maintaining weight, or you're just drinking them during a flare. You're having an off day. You don't want to eat anything, but you want to make sure you get nutrition. So you're drinking these. So lots of different goals and lots of different symptoms and stuff that could be going on. So important to figure out which one is right for you, not just reach for it because of the taste, but we just
check what's inside.
Yeah. So in the Ensure originals that we had, those were all an 8-ounce size. They had 10 grams of sugar, 9 grams of protein, 220 calories, 27 vitamins and minerals, and 6 grams of fat. One of the important things I looked at was the types of sugar. They had sugar, sucralose, and corn maltodextrin. So, fact, corn maltodextrin, while not a sugar, it acts like a sugar substitute. And so it will behave in a similar way on your blood sugar levels.
So basically just a fancy word to cover up the amount of sugar in it.
Right. It's just another type of sugar, a sugar substitute. And the Ensure Clear in the 10-ounce sizes.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. Those ones had, this is 10 ounce again. Those had 18 grams of sugar, 8 grams of protein, 180 calories, and 0 grams of fat. So for some people who are just looking to get nutrition, but not looking to gain weight, again,
suffer through the
you have different
berry
sugar.
breeze.
Yeah. So I think these were the ones that won. These were the ones that won.
These were the ones that won.
And so this could explain why, because there's 18 grams of sugar. And the type of sugar. So there was corn maltodextrin and sugar. And the other thing I noticed was they had the color red 40 and blue 1. So those One of them was just red 41 had both the combo. So if that's important to you, it's important to note as well.
There's red dye in them.
Well, that's a very important thing right now.
It is.
And so then the Ensure Clear Nutrition, which was the one that was yuck. Like this was not good. And that's the 8-ounce size. So that had 30 grams of sugar. Okay.
That doesn't seem to fix anything.
No, which is insane. I'm like,
you know
what?
It's like
sugar.
It's like if a car is broken, you just keep pouring money into it to try to fix it, but it's not getting fixed at all.
No, that's
it keeps getting worse.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening here.
So you're spending money on something that isn't even getting fixed.
So 30 grams of sugar, 8 grams of protein, 240 calories, and 0 grams of fat. Please double check these nutrition labels yourself in case I have anything incorrect. It does happen.
It does happen.
Double check your own labels. That's on you.
Your job.
Yeah, that is your job. I'm just trying to kind of help out here. And so the types of sugar were sugar, corn syrup solids, and for color they used red 40. So they also used this. So what's interesting next to compare, the reason why it's kind of important too, is the Boost Breeze fruit drinks, which did not taste good to us, but these were in an 8-ounce size. They had 34 grams of sugar, 9 grams of protein, 250 calories, and 0 grams of fat. The type of sugar was sugar, glucose syrup, but they used vegetable juice for color. So props to them on that.
How is that? Is that kind of sugar, vegetable juice?
No, it's so instead of using the red
better
40,
than the red 40.
They're using it. So, that's.
I wonder I tasted carrots.
No.
No, you didn't taste that. You don't taste anything like that.
No.
You wish you did.
I would prefer that. Definitely. And Boost nutritional drinks were an 8-ounce size. Important to note too, the chocolate was high protein. The others were just regular, but that's what we could find at the time. So these numbers are going to be a little different because of the protein levels. So the chocolate had 11 grams of sugar, 20 grams of protein, 250 calories, and 6 grams of fat. Now,
compared to 30.
The vanilla had 16 grams of sugar, so higher in sugar, 14 grams of protein, which was expected because this wasn't the high protein. This is just your regular Boost nutritional drink.
Only like 6 grams less though.
360 calories and 14 grams of fat. And then the strawberry was 15 grams of sugar.
So 1 gram less.
Yep, but it's interesting because I don't think a lot of people think about that. So if you are trying to watch sugar or looking at these are important things to look at. These were all very different. 14 grams of protein, 360 calories, and 14 grams of fat. So same as the vanilla on that. The types of sugar used were glucose syrup and sugar in those.
Not bad.
So the Kate Farms was an 11-ounce size. So in the vanilla, it was 18 grams of sugar. Chocolate was 20 grams of sugar. 16 grams of protein in both, 330 calories in both, 12 grams of fat in both. And important to note on these, and this is something that the other ones didn't have, they either had trace amounts or 0, but these had 6 grams of fiber in the vanilla and 7 grams of fiber in the chocolate. This was the reason why your dietitian did not recommend these to you at the time, because you were flaring. So based on your symptoms, she didn't want you having a lot of extra fiber at the time.
Interesting.
So these are, as we said, plant-based, dairy-free, soy-free, and gluten-free. All of these, as we mentioned, were gluten-free and lactose suitable, for lactose intolerance suitable. But these ones, in addition, were just dairy-free, soy-free, plant-based. So the types of sugar they used were agave syrup and brown rice syrup solids.
Agave syrup?
Okay. Yeah. So which accounts for a little bit of a different taste. Maybe we picked up on the Glucerna in the 8-ounce size. And again, these are at Costco, so that's where these came from. I had never seen these.
Buy them in bulk.
Yeah, this was
buy 50 at once.
Right. So that's why it's important for us to try these, because if you're going to buy as many of those as that comes in that pack, you're going to want to make sure you like it. But overall, the Glucerna wasn't bad.
Oh, the Glucerna was actually.
But let's look at their nutritional. In the 8-ounce size, they had 4 grams of sugar in the chocolate, 5 grams of sugar in the strawberry, 10 grams of protein in the chocolate, 12 grams of protein in the strawberry, 180 calories in the chocolate, 140 calories in the strawberry, 9 grams of fat in the chocolate, 6 grams of fat in the strawberry, and these also had fiber. Yeah, so 4 grams of fiber in the chocolate, 3 grams of fiber in the strawberry, which is
the only downside.
Well, not necessarily
a downside.
It would have been for you.
Some
Crohn's patients do need more fiber.
Some of them do, yes.
So again, like like I said, that's why depending, read those labels, guys, because depending where you're at in your treatment or where you're at with how the disease's level of remission, if you're flaring.
I'm honestly actually really surprised that instead of having like the 14, instead of having like the 10 grams, sugar, it's only 5 and 4, and we really like them.
And we liked them. The types of sugar they used were fructose and corn maltodextrin. So that's what they used in theirs. So in the Fairlife, which those came in 14-ounce sizes, so those are bigger bottles. So we're talking about, and this is interesting because when it's important keeping it relative to when we're talking about the amount of sugar for the size, because these are larger bottles.
This one's almost twice the size as
just slightly, a little, but had 5 grams of sugar.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that was in chocolate and vanilla.
And that's crazy because the other one that was 8 ounces had 5 grams. And this is 14 grams shy of 16, which is twice as much, which is twice as big.
Exactly. Wow. And it's like, that's not too bad.
I'm up talking Fairlife so much.
6 grams of sugar was in the strawberry banana.
A little bit more.
Both had 26 grams of protein. So these are a lot higher protein, but these were also their core power. So these are focused on protein here.
You know what? We forgot to compare the price.
I didn't forget. I just didn't want to. Just know supplemental drinks are pricey. And so you can look those up because we did these individually. So it's going to be very different than if you bought them in a larger pack. 170 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, and then 2 grams of fiber in the chocolate and 1 gram of fiber, which was in the strawberry, banana, and vanilla. So smaller amounts. So these could be a good like meet in the middle if you can't have a lot of fiber, but you need a little bit.
And then just not much sugar, but still tastes good.
But the type of sugar. Monk fruit, stevia, and sucralose. So that is what is. So again, that's
interesting though, because we didn't really taste it.
I tasted the fakeness in all of it. Like I'm not even gonna like.
But it was a little less than the.
Maybe for your taste buds, you didn't pick up on
it.
As much.
That might have been okay. Yeah, I remember because there was a little bit, I think.
So and I want to go more into because we discussed in the beginning Mason's drink that he drinks right now. That is his favorite, which we because he tried the Ensure, he tried the Boost. And his dietitian, was understanding of his need to move on from those because he was like, I can't, and she's like, all right, let's move you, go ahead and do this. Because I had said, we have the Fairlife whole milk and Fairlife milk is this. So, and I want to make sure there's a difference. We're talking about the Fairlife milk right now. We're not talking about the Fairlife supplemental drink.
No, we're talking about
those are different. Those are the pre-prepared, those are their different drinks. We're talking about the actual milk that you buy in the cold section.
Your local Albertsons or Target.
Yeah. So these are things, this is just their regular milk, but it's lactose free. But it is packed with a lot of good stuff. And this is like one of the best milks. His dietitian preferred him doing this over like almond milk, over oat milk. She said that for what he needed something that was packed with more good stuff. And so the Fairlife milk was what she recommended. Now at the time, whole milk, because the goal for us was to get weight onto Mason. Yes. He's still drinking whole milk. His pediatrician has recommended we now go to non-fat because Mason is at a great goal weight. He has enough in reserves if he does flare. So he said, now we're in a good place. So we're always, watching. These things can change for us just like they can change for you. So what may be okay one day is different another day. So we're comparing this. We wanted to compare what Mason's drink was so you can compare it to the others. We mix 8 ounces of Fairlife whole milk with a packet of chocolate instant breakfast. And so it's like a powder, you shake it in the milk, you mix it up. Together though, that's 21 grams of sugar. So
well, right side is it's better than the fruit drinks, which had
but your dietitian still was okay with this, and so was your pediatrician. So for us, that was okay.
That's good.
18 grams of protein, 290 calories, and 9 grams of fat, because again, it's whole milk, guys. So if you're trying to get your kids to gain weight, that would be important in there. And if you're not interested in having them gain weight, you can mix it with non-fat milk if you just want them to gain the nutritional value in this. And that will still have 21 grams of sugar, 18 grams of protein, but it'll have 220 calories and 1 gram of fat.
A little better.
Because the 1 gram of fat is actually in the instant breakfast powder. So you
can't really get rid of that.
Right. That's just in there. Just, it's okay. And, and then another option here, depending what you're wanting to do. Protein powder. this it might be, maybe you're just looking to bulk up a bit. You just want to increase your protein, and you don't necessarily need this as a supplemental a meal or anything like that. Or maybe you want to add this powder to something you're baking, or you're making whatever you can to get in the extra protein for these kids or for you as adults. The protein powder I compared this against was the one that we use that we like a lot. That's the Opportunities is grass-fed whey protein isolate. So that's what it's, and the one we have right now is chocolate. So that's what I'm using when I'm comparing it. And so this is the one, like, we tried a lot, like protein powders, like we started put in muffins. We were doing different things for Mason too, trying to boost, put in cookies or like we could get him like, "Ooh, we made you cookies, Mason." Like,
yes, so normal.
And so we would try to fit in protein powder where we could. But a lot of them, like just mixing them with milk or trying to make like a smoothie or a shake, with them, fake sugar thing bothered me. So this one does not have any fake sugar. It's it's very simple ingredients, like 4 ingredients in this. Very simple stuff. Really good. I don't mind the flavor at all. It's very light. You would use 30 grams or 2.4 tablespoons with like 8 ounces of milk. It's what you could do. You could mix with other things too. But if you mix with non-fat milk, you're going to have 8 grams of sugar, 20 grams of protein, 120 calories, and 1 gram of fat. And again, the thing that you would be lacking with that, though, is all the vitamins and minerals that are in these other drinks. That probably
all the other ones have like 50 different minerals. This one, but it's still good though.
So this is like not really a supplemental drink option. It's just one thrown in there in case you're looking just to do like protein for your kids or for your adults.
Ripped.
Yeah, I joke about that. It's not happening. It's just, it's something, it's good to have that protein. Make sure you're getting it. So anyways, that's basically it, guys. We did all that. You guys shouldn't have to. Definitely don't. Yeah. It's like, I think the main thing is to have a mindset with it, that this is something you need to do.
It's not a fun yum drink that you have to enjoy.
I mean, you guys have to go through like drinking so many, like for preps or for MRIs, just stuff you have to drink. It's like, gosh, it's, you can also get NG tubes and you can bypass having to taste these, and it can go straight to the stomach. So that is the option for some kids, because it is very difficult to drink 9 of these in a day, or wherever you're at with your calorie count that you need, depending on your size. So that was for Mason. I think that the overall takeaway is, I mean, I'm not a fan of all the sugar and the fake stuff in them, but I do think some people are okay with that. And, a lot of these I didn't mention the vitamins and minerals on all of them because I didn't count. Some of them were easier because the bottle listed it, but all of these had vitamins and minerals and things that are good for you. So, that's just makes it a tricky thing to cover up those tastes and make it taste good.
We can do better.
They're there for you when you need them. And we did our best to compare them against each other, not against something that we would just drink when we're not using a supplemental drink. And overall, I'm glad that's done.
Because there's a difference between drinking apple juice to drinking crisp orange breeze on a summer's day.
Yeah.
And there's still people who enjoy that. So kudos to you.
I don't want anybody listening to feel offended. Like, it's not meant to, if this is our own taste test. I was just thinking,
everyone has their own preferences or opinions.
Well, I thought like I needed to do some, like, you ask your kids to do these things, or even as an adult, a doctor asks you to do them. And you always wonder if, parents are taste testing them or doctors taste testing them, because I know it's not like you have an option sometimes, or like you need to do this, but it's nice to
when
be
you say,
honest.
"Oh, this is so good," like when the nurse said,
yes.
"Oh, this one is my favorite. It's so good."
Ooh, it's gonna taste good.
Because my dad likes everything, and he tasted that and he goes, "No."
Yeah, he was like, "No, it was terrible." So I think it's just, sometimes we're gonna have to encourage ourselves or our kids to drink something.
Before you tell your kid that, "Oh, this is so good and it's gonna be just like a chocolate milkshake," try it first.
Yeah, because before we tell our kids or even ourselves, to drink something, it's important to be honest about it and just understand that maybe this is going to be the best, but just get it down, drink it. And again, refrigerator might be a good idea. So with that, you guys are welcome to follow us at Team I Be Determined on Instagram. The Reggie Project is also on Instagram. Give that a follow. And you can listen to us on any podcast station like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and many more. We'll have a link for you guys through Buzzsprout so you can see all the stations it's at. And, if you prefer to watch over listening, you can watch us
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And there are YouTube podcasts. But if you do want to watch us, make sure to watch the YouTube videos. And if you are on YouTube already on whether either the podcast or the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, make sure to hit that bell icon. And please leave a comment. Ooh, they should tell us what their favorite drink is.
I was going to say, tell us what your favorite supplemental drink was, because
or your reaction to it, because we really enjoyed it.
If there's one that we didn't like, if someone else liked it, I think it is important to mention that, because everybody's taste is going to be different. We are not like the authorities on this at all. We're just like, your average people who are like, what does this taste like?
What does it taste like? Oh, well, I don't know what it tastes like.
So, feel free to let us know in the comments any recommendations, because some of you may have your own concoctions or ideas, and that's cool too. We didn't include a lot of ours because I was trying to stick with things here that were basically easy to get at the store, doctor recommended, pediatrician recommended, and I just wanted to see what they tasted like. So so some of you might say, well, we do this and we do that. So go ahead and share what you do as well. Thank you guys for listening. I'm so glad we are done with this, because and it's really gross.
So much.
We have a refrigerator full of these now, and because you have to refrigerate them after.
To do with them?
And obviously Jason is our frugal. That's a nice way to say it. And so he's like, can't let him go to waste. And I'm like, you didn't like him that much. And he's like, that's okay. So obviously they can't be that bad. If he is willing to drink these and doesn't even have to now.
The crazy thing is you can't throw them away either. They're like batteries.
No.
You have to send them to the special landfill. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
They only last a certain amount of days after they're refrigerated, but he is going to finish as many as he can so it doesn't go to waste. So, I mean, they couldn't have been that bad. We'll see if he drinks the fruit ones. I'm going to keep an eye.
He's
I'm not going to say anything. I don't think he will.
I bet he's not.
I think those are going to up in the trash. I think. So.
Because there's no way he's going to drink it with the way he did it. He took a sip and spit it back out in the hospital. He was like, oh, no, I'm not drinking that.
No, I don't think he will. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening. And again, drop a comment. Let us know your favorite drink, least favorite too. Let us know maybe what you tried that you say you don't recommend.
Maybe we'll get the 1 out of 1,000 in the comments who likes the buried.
I know that person's probably not gonna want to come forward after everything's said, because you talked about being Yellowstone in a bottle.
You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one.
I mean, again, let us know what it tastes like to you, and let others know.
What is your personal preference?
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, work week, evening, morning, whatever it is. Have a good one.
Have a very blastic week.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
All right, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Have a good day.
All right. Bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to apply something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.